Hey gang, it's Punchmas Prime back at it with again. Back at you again, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Wave 2 Leader Class Blitzwing. Before we get into that, I just recently posted a new video. It is to see if this dude, Mr. Double Dealer, was worth it to buy in 2023, and is it, as I knock my podium, but does it still hold up? And I forgot to actually say, does it hold up? It does, even with the joints that he has. He holds up pretty well in 2023. Again, I don't know how to clean these things, so please let me know how to clean these in the comments below. With that out of the way, let's take a look at Blitzwing. So here is Blitzwing here in the robot mode, and I will state right now that I am not going to go through the transformations for this, because there's already tons of reviewers out there that do have their reviews out for this dude and have their whole transformation sequence in the review. So just going through that right now, not doing the transformation on camera. So what we're going to be looking at is his robot mode, his plane mode, and his tank mode, not the transformation. I also forgot to say in Double Dealer's review that I thoroughly enjoy his transformation. But now let us take a look at the sculpting and the detailing on Blitzwing. Got some nice yellow for the helmet here, got a nice red visor, got some nice silver paint there for the faceplate, got some nice silver in red right here, got a nice silver Decepticon insignia, can't speak right, and then he's got this yellow paint, and I don't know what that scuff is right there, or that mark. Got some nice silver paint for the abdomen here, some nice silver. It's yellow, it's silver. Got some nice silver paint for the skirts. Got some nice silver paints for the legs. Some nice yellow inner paint. Some nice silver right here, and some silver Decepticon insignias. Got a pretty big backpack. But again, that's G1 accurate. Before you start yelling at me in the comments, that is G1 accurate. Now I will say that Blitzwing has always been my favorite of the Decepticon triple changers. Astrotrain's cool and all, but I don't really understand the logic behind him being both a space shuttle and a train that can fit Decepticons that are much taller than him in both modes. But that's not about him, this is about Blitzwing. And I feel like they've done this figure a lot of justice in the robot mode and the tank mode. The jet mode, not so much. But with that being said, let's get into the articulation. So his head is on a ball joint, can do a bunch of all of that, can look up really well, can look down somewhat. His shoulders are on a ball joint on the inside here, so they can, if you move this piece out of the way, you can get some good up, no back due to the backpack back here. You do have a bicep rotation and a wrist swivel. You do have a waist swivel that can go a full 360, and again, if you move the skirt out of the way, his legs can go up that far. Cannot go back because of these panels right here. They don't move out in any way, shape, or form, so it just stops it right there. And for the legs, you got way over 90 degrees of bend there. For the knees, and then for the feet, you've got a killer ankle pivot. With the articulation out of the way, let's take a look at his accessories. So two of them don't make sense because I don't know what these are for. I just know that they were meant for the Energon base gimmick that was in the first half of the original Legacy line that happened last year, but then got weirdly phased out shortly after Blitzwing happened. So here he has two of those Energon bazooka hand things. He does come with his sword, and my most favorite, instead of one, he comes with two of his little blasters. So before I start messing around with the rest of his accoutrement, let's get these out of the way. So these can just slide out from in there. They're just on a peg in there, and they plug in right there. You can plug these in on the front right here, and then by looking at this little thing right here, this little indent, you can tell which side that these are supposed to go on. So this one can go on this arm, and to get these on, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate his fist inward, just like that, and then you're going to raise it up a little, and then you're going to plug it in right where this part plugged in, so it's going to plug in right in there, just like so. Don't get me wrong, I like this, but to me it just makes no sense. Now, these are Blast Effect compatible, but again, these are cool and all, but they just don't make sense for Blitzwing. So let's go ahead and take this off, straighten that out, and give him his better weapons. So starting off with his two blasters here. Now there's two ways that these can go, or more than two ways that these can go onto him. You can plug these weapons using this 5mm port right here and plug them right there, but it's more for the plane mode. Or you can take these and line it up just like this on one side, on his back, not one side of the back, but you can plug it in and it stores right there on the back, just like that. Now swinging this dude back around, he can actually hold his weapon in both hands, but I much prefer to him to wield only one of these pistols and then use the other one as back storage. So he can also wield the sword. Now the sword can do a few things. You can use this 5mm, can't speak. You can use this 5mm post to plug it in to the arm right here, so he's got a wicked arm blade, or you can plug it into the turret back here and plug it in just like so, or he can hold it in his hand just like that. Now I will say my sword came warped in the box, but I love it. He can do a whole bunch of slashing and shooting, although this gun is not, both guns are not 5mm, or they're not Blast Effect compatible is what I'm trying to say. Here he is with Bulkhead, and as you can see, at head height, Bulkhead is just a smidge taller, not so much, but it's a glance and you'll miss it. But otherwise, they're pretty much the same height. My previous review, Earthrise Double Dealer, and Rise of the Beast Studio Series Optimus Prime, and as you can see, Optimus stands a lot taller. So as I said, I am not going to go through the transformation on camera to get him into his alternate modes, because there's already plenty of reviewers that have already done that. This is just my opinion on the figure and what I think, and is he still worth to buy? So with that out of the way, let us get him into his first alternate mode. And honestly, the easiest one to get into, his tank mode. Alrighty gang, we're back, and here is Blitzwing in his tank mode, and I gotta say, this is a really, really good looking tank mode. There we go. If you ignore the thrusters back here, which are for the plane mode, he's got a really good tank mode. And I like the fact that they tried to make this as G1 accurate as possible. I just wish that this was on a slider and could slide back a little bit to hide his head a little bit more and make this a little bit more G1 accurate. But there's also weapon storage on this. So to get the weapon storage going, what you're going to do is, I failed to plug in his Ray Energon hands back into the missile launcher modes. These bits, using these tabs and this slot right here, can tab in to these back pieces right here, just like so. We got a Mickey Mouse tank, y'all. Anyways, the sword can store on the turret piece like it did in robot mode, as I keep dropping it. Like so. And then the guns themselves actually plug in to the sides, right there, and right there. I will admit, doing it this way looks a lot goofier. Makes it look like a giant Mickey Mouse tank with giant rocket launchers. But that's why we don't display him in tank mode with these on. So now, for comparison, here he is next to Point Blank, Knockout, and Core Class Wheelie. Now, I'm not going to do a comparison with Double Dealer in his rocket carrier mode and the Falcon mode next to Blitzwing's tank mode and jet mode. Those comparisons were already made in Double Dealer's video, which will be going live here in a moment. But with that out of the way, let's get Blitzwing into his tank mode, as I failed to speak into his jet mode. So here we have Blitzwing in his jet mode, and it's alright. Like, if they would have found a way to better hide the tank mode in this mode, although, albeit, it would require a better budget, probably commander class budget, this would have been probably one of the best modes out of the toy. But with all this down here, it kind of hinders the plane. It hinders the jet mode. Now, the easiest way to get rid of all this is there is a pin right there that holds all of this together. If you can knock that pin out, this part will come off and the jet mode would look fine, but you wouldn't be able to turn it into jet mode, or you wouldn't be able to turn it into tank mode without putting it back in there. So, with that being said, the jet mode's alright. It could have been done a lot better. And here he is with some comparison. Here he is with Core Class Swoop. Here he is with Knockout. And with Wheelie and Point Blank. Alrighty, gang. So, with all that being said, should you get Blitzwing? No. Because of the fact that he is a shelf warmer right now, when Christmas hits, like the last 2 weeks before Christmas, and even Christmas week, be expecting this dude to go on clearance, on the clearance aisles in Walmarts and Targets. And then even online, they might go down on the price on him. It's just, in my opinion, it's not worth spending $55 on this guy, even with the good stuff that he comes with. It's just, my thing is, since there's so many out there, just shelf forming, and with Christmas time around, I don't think y'all should pay the $55. I think y'all should pay what the clearance is going to be, and be expecting it to be around anywhere between $25, $30, $35, especially at Walmart, because Walmart's got plenty of these dudes just sitting on their shelves. The same logic applies with the Galvatron that was re-released and Coronation Starscream. But if you can find it online, or even in Walmarts and Targets for $20, $25, or for $25, $30, $35, that would be a great pickup for this dude. Otherwise, I wouldn't suggest picking it up. Now, if you are interested in buying it for yourself, Walmarts do have it. There's a bunch of online retailers that have it. Target even has it. I'm not sponsored by any of them, but if you're looking for a Blitzwing, there's so many options to go grab one. Now, I do think the figure itself is great, but again, I wouldn't pay anything higher than $35 for this, because of how Christmas time is and how many's out there. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Spongimus Prime signing out, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.